Welcome everyone to a gameplay overview of Battle Series Pacific Battle for Iwo Jima. I consider this a tactical wargame, but you might even call this a tactical walkthrough wargame. We're really trying to relive the Battle of Iwo Jima, and it's done in a way where there's a lot of, it feels a lot like a historical walkthrough. You feel like you're taking the lead role of the commander and moving your troops in, and things with my experience so far in the game, which is maybe 3 or 4 hours, they move according to more or less the historical pace. So there's some good balancing. Now the score mechanic on this is just these objectives. Can you take them earlier, or at least on the same day as they were historically taken? And what I found is that is a challenging goal. Especially if it's your first time playing. It was in my first time playing, I missed like almost every objective for one reason or another. Now I've read the manual and stuff. Anyways, let me click through. Historically, it took the Marines 35 days to achieve this task of clearing the island. Can we do it any better? So the likely answer is yes, if you've already tried playing this. And that's why I talk about this as a historical walkthrough. I don't think there's a lot of replayability in this game. So that top pop-up just said that the Japanese allowed the Marines to land for about an hour before they engaged in mortar fire and heavy artillery, along with, of course, small arms fire. And this is simulating the artillery barrage. We'll also have to live through an artillery phase later. Now, are any of my units dropping in strength? The 5th are stronger, so they get a combat strength of 10 and 3 pips. These have 8s, and nobody has lost any yet. This game is heavily based in RNG. Your success or your failure, you can always just point a finger to RNG. Now, obviously, your actions can maximize or minimize the effect. I mean, you can maximize your chance of success through your own actions, but ultimately, I've had opening barrages or at least artillery phases where I've had like 4 or 5 units lose, get hit, and that's pretty bad. So next up for us is the support phase. That was a one-time only artillery barrage to start off the battle, and from here on there's going to be a steady progression of phases. Japanese artillery to Marine support to Marine movement. To Japanese artillery, to Marine movement, then Marine combat, Japanese combat, then Marine combat, then night attacks, Japanese night attacks. So in a weird way, this game is kind of like you are playing as the Horde, and you're up against like elite enemy. The Japanese, dug in as they are, they're actually pretty hard to move, and they have about 4 attacks for every 1 attack any of your units has. And the way the game balances this out is basically by making. So I guess that was the artillery attack phase. I thought there was 2 on the first day, but I'm mistaken. So the way it balances it out is by giving you a lot more units than the Japanese have. So we had, and this is the main mechanic. So, and the reason why, by the way, I call it a walkthrough is because the Japanese units, after 2 attempts at playing this, 3 maybe, they do not move. So if you found a Japanese unit here at the start of this game, it'll be there in the next one. The mechanic at work here is when I'm moving, I cannot move out of enemy zone of control. So once I get into enemy zone of control, I'm locked in there. That means I also can't move through enemy zone of control. But anytime I move at all within 2 hexes of an enemy, they're going to get a chance, 1 chance only per unit, but they'll get a chance at reaction fire. So we'll see that this unit is going to move here. I will only take reaction fire from this 4 strength, really strong unit. And these 2 other units will not be able to attack me because I'm more than 2 hexes away. So we'll see. But that was counteracted by the fact that this unit also was able to fire. So you can see how things are going here for us. We're going to just charge forward. Now, with the objective of taking the airfield by turn 2, you only get one movement phase per day. And that means we get movement phase, then we get combat phase. So we have to take this, basically clear a line, a clear path to this objective by the end of day 0, by this very day, which makes it, a challenge to say the least. So we do have this gap that it looks like we have still HQ radius. We can move our HQ guy around, but he's actually kind of perfect right where he is, because if we move him forward, he could get hit. And this guy, so we may choose to move this 4th to the left, because although we will lose 3 hexes here, you can see these fortifications. You can't climb up on these if the enemy has a zone of control presence there. So they're actually pretty hard to take. And I'm not sure if we'll need to. We probably will for the first turn at least. Okay, so that said, let's try to move this guy forward. He will be stopped. And there's our first casualty. In fact, this guy just, despite the fact that I gave him the shield, which means essentially he was given support. So he was given, wait. Yeah, so we do have this. We can go here and not that. Okay, so this has to be us. So the shield, it's supposed to act as like priority for, and there's a group of Hellcats flying over. I think they're Hellcats. I don't know, are those? I can't tell what those are. It's pretty tiny. Anyway, the shield just gives you well, speaking of Hellcats, it gives you like priority for like a strafing mission or things like that. So, and this guy also got hit. As I said, it's pretty RNG based, so the fact that I'm successful in one mission, I've had times where I got so incredibly destroyed in the first. Okay, now we know that we're going to be able to go up here. I'll get this guy. He's going to run the gauntlet here. He's going to suffer from 3 things of fire. Now both of these guys firing, and he made it. The real trick is going to be to get the armor, and I'll talk about that in a second. But let's see. If we do this right, all these guys are going to get a chance to fire at him, unfortunately. But if we do it right, we can actually get him over here. Yikes. Right? And that means we can get this guy to move in here. No need for him to take fire from that enemy unit. 2 hexes away, we just stay 2 hexes away. Yep, should be fine. So we're going to actually get every one of our 5th into an attack position, which I guess that's good. Now let's talk about armor. Armor is not very effective in a adjacent, so you can only attack, as you can probably guess based on my positioning, you can only attack a Japanese unit if you're adjacent to it. If I hit T, I can actually bring up the terrain height. One of the things, so that the mechanics, the things that go into the combat, the modifiers for your die roll, is are you attacking up a hill? So this guy attacking here will get a penalty. So will this guy attacking here because they're attacking up a hill. Another thing is if they're very fatigued. This gauge on the left is the fatigue. So the shield is just the extra support. It's supposed to, I think, act as, it does act as a +1 modifier on their attacks and stuff like that. Now, armor is another +1 attack. So we're going to move this guy in here because armor, instead of being adjacent to things, oh yes, we survived. I've had this guy down to only 1 before, so that was nice. Armor is going to add 1 to the die roll of any unit adjacent to it. So this armor is going to give a bonus to both of these units, and the amazing thing is we snuck this armor into this big pocket, and it's going to be able to provide a +1 bonus to the attacks of 4 surrounding Marines. Obviously the trade-off here is because in order to get this position, I had to expose this tank to 3 different incoming reaction fires from the Japanese. So it's not something you necessarily always want to do. You may not want to move your tank up if it's wounded, but I would say that this is perhaps the luckiest start I've had. So thank you to everyone watching. You're making my luck somehow better. my luck is usually atrocious. I have restarted 2 games just because I had such bad luck. So my average going out of day 0, the first day, so D-Day plus 0, my average going out of D-Day is like 41 points, I guess, for the Japanese. And they get points every time they hit a unit, and they get a big, well, I don't know how big, but they get an additional amount of points to their score if they actually kill a Marine unit. So everything's pretty straightforward so far. We're going only exactly where we can, and nowhere that we cannot. Which is kind of a joke. It's pretty straightforward, right? The zone of control is going to block us, so this is exactly the front that we have to take. We have no choice. Just keep moving forward. Oh, now this guy's going to take 2 additional reaction fire there. So because we are able to move the 10 all the way over here, we're going to keep the 8th in the exact command range of the 4th HQ. This guy's going to take 3 reaction fire. In fact, by the end of the day, he's going to take 4 because I want to move him forward. Hopefully he doesn't get hit again. Good. Now, you cannot move up. As I mentioned, you cannot move up on these berms, this fortification stuff, unless you have... there's no enemy zone of control there. So the best we're going to be able to do is move 1 unit here. This guy's also going to take 3 reaction fire. And I just, again, in full disclosure, none of these Japanese positions are different than where they have been the last 2 times I started the game. So replayability for this game won't be very good. But I feel like if you enjoy this, you can treat this as like an experience to just play through Iwo Jima. Now we have 2 tanks that are the only thing really left to move, and what I found, another thing I found is, although I'd like to move the tank here, the 4th tanks don't support the 5th. I don't exactly understand why, but that's just the way it is. Now again, the priority is we have to break through to get to airfield number 1. We have to have broken through by the end of this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and move this guy in and just take the reaction fire. We'll support these 2. I guess I could have actually moved him back over here. Again, once you take reaction fire from somebody, you don't have to take reaction fire from anybody else. I think this unit is going to be a tough one to move out of the way, an important one to move out of the way, so that we can get units on. And where's that? Yeah, that's going to be attacking up a hill, so it'll be pretty tough. We just need to break through one of these places, and then we can start moving troops through. So it's going to be important. But now that I see it, the best place for us is definitely right here, where we can actually bolster 3 attacks at the same time. Now this guy's not supported, so we may have a... Oh, we're getting very lucky, I think. No first casualties. Okay. Then Japanese artillery. So there is an artillery phase, and I guess it happens after your movement phase. And then I guess Japanese combat after that. Oh, okay, so I spoke too soon. We're actually not having... the opening artillery barrage when you're landing on the beach, I have not usually taken too much damage there, but this one, you never know. Another unit hit there. So, no difficulty modifiers in this game as far as I can tell. I think that you are given enough troops to capture the island, unless you very, very poorly mismanage things. Ooh, this guy's in very, very bad shape. Ideally, I would want to pull him out, but the problem is even moving backwards gives the Japanese an attack. So, yeah, and you can see that these guys have each fired like 10 times. That's a huge over-exaggeration, but they fired quite a lot, right? Each of these Japanese has probably fired maybe on average 3 times, and this will be maybe the 4th time for them. And I haven't even gotten a chance to... Oh my god, I got 1 Marine. Okay, so the Lucky's not favoring us now. We have 1 unit that's been wiped out. Okay, and now after each of these units has probably fired 4, on average 4 times it does, we now have an opportunity to finally do something. Let's make it count. Okay, we did not score a hit there. It's very simple mechanics. They have strength pips. You have strength pips. We did not score a hit there. We scored a hit. So our first hit, we got some damage done to that Japanese unit. Okay, we are not going to be able to kill this unit now. We would have had to land all 3 blows. We did not. We got the tank supporting us here. We were able to deliver that blow. We'll still keep attacking. There's no point not to. But he did not succeed in his attack. And this is ideally the one we're going to break through. Okay, we got 2 pips. So we stand a very good chance, I think. Oh, interesting. So the Japanese actually countered. They ambushed. And we have a +1 modifier. I think that's strength comparison. Okay, good. So it looks like we're going to be clear to break through. So airfield number 1, objective, very likely to be achieved. And even better if we can... I'm going to skip this unit. Oh, ambush. Yeah, this is tough. We have 2 choices here, and I honestly don't know what the best... I think that we want to clear this 5th unit of 10 so that I can shift my HQ over. This will be out of range if I do that, so then that guy is only going to be clear if I can kill this unit. And I expected to, and I did. Very good news. And it feels, by the way, this game makes you so happy to get to the Marine combat phase, even if you just blank on some attacks. It is just so, it's like, you spend about 4 phases being under attack, because there's a night attack coming after this. And that one's also just the Japanese attacking you. So they get about, I think, I'm just going to guess they get about 5 attacks to every one of yours. Let's do this guy next. And again, that's to compensate, I guess, for the numerical superiority that you have. So since we landed a blow here but not here, I think we'll try to take this guy. Yeah, no luck. Okay, and that's our attack phase. I think that things have not gone poorly, but we'll find out how we're doing now. Okay, occasionally a unit will launch the feared bonsai attack. Here we go. Not a bonsai attack, just a normal attack. Oh, still hurt us. Oh, killed another Marine. We got 2 Marine groups down. The animations in this game are a little bit slow. In fact, in the artillery, it's the beach attack. Okay, so we're at 34. We are doing 7 points better than I remember I did last time, at least. Which is something, hey? Okay, so moving on to D-Day +1. And that's why you see you only have 1 movement phase per day. So if you want to get to there, you have to have cleared a path to the objective on the day before. Now, Marine reinforcements are going to arrive. They're going to clutter our place quite significantly. Another thing, the island is not considered very big. There's no zoom or zoom out, but if we just kind of look on the mini-map and see how big it is, you're able to move as far as you can until you run into Japanese zone of control. So the nice thing about breaking a hole in the lines is that you can actually, let's say you had zone of control here and here, you could move a unit all the way around and around the entire map as long as you avoided zone of control. So there's no movement point limitation. But yeah, we're on to the support phase. Who needs support? It's a good question. Who do I really wish we had been able to open up this one. I think our tanks, actually, you know what? The tank doesn't need support if we're not going to move. This one's not going to move. And I don't think this one's going to move because it's already in good position. So that means reinforcement phase. Oh, that was the reinforcement phase. Sorry. Now it's the support phase. Okay, so we want this tank, which is going to be attacked. These are both 4th tanks. This guy doesn't necessarily need to move. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to kill that without having put a lot of units into the attack. But we'll get this one who is going to move. I'd really like to score some hits. Actually, let's choose this one. I'd really like to score some more hits there. I'd really like to get a tank there if I could, just to be able to push up that berm. These guys are in such weak position, but we can't do anything about that, unfortunately, because, as I mentioned, retreating away is just exposing yourself to reaction fire. If you stay put, you're not going to be attacked, so I think we'll focus mainly on, I mean, the first two objectives are Airfield 1, which we'll be able to get, and then Mount Suribachi. And Mount Suribachi, we're going to need the 5th to do that, so probably I should be prioritizing the 5th a lot more than I already started to. Let's get this guy to move forward. Maybe new 10 to move forward. Any other tanks that we need? I think our tanks here are fine. This tank's got one. That guy's going to move. So we're okay. We can apply it for one more unit. I guess I'll apply it to this 10. We are probably going to use the 4th to attack this unit because we are going to shift our HQ over. So our HQ needs to shift over here, I think. Or he might actually need to be... I'm going to put support on this guy because I think I have to move him into enemy zone... I mean, within reaction fire range. Despite the fact that they only have 1 strength, it's still dangerous. Okay, so how do we begin? Let's first begin by taking the objective. Move forward here. Forward here. And we'll take some reaction fire, but did lose a little bit of fatigue there, but at least we've taken our objective. Now I'm going to move back down, and I'm going to move here, take my reaction fire, and move this guy into place. Okay, good. So what this tells us is that there's no enemy units within 2 axes of this guy, so that means there's no enemy unit here, which I'm already obviously not remembering things well. I thought there was an enemy unit somewhere up here, where we will find him. We'll try to avoid taking any other reaction fire, and this is the last guy from the 5th that we have to move over to the west. Okay, there it is. So again, I could just keep finding a path all the way around, and this guy won't fire at us once he's fired at us once. However, I think we're just going to move in and do an attack. Same idea here. Just going to move this guy directly forward, because he's very weak, but I'm hoping that we can get some hits in. I can also do the attack with this guy. So if I move this way, I will take fire. If I move this way, I'll take fire from him. But then I can get to there. But there's probably other units up there, so I'm just going to take the reaction fire from both of these guys, and hopefully... I really wish that the Japanese were less effective at firing after the first one moves through, to kind of like, you know, if you draw their fire or something like that. But maybe that doesn't make sense. Okay, so this unit, it would be very important for us to eliminate. I think I'm just going to move this guy in right here. Actually, I'll let him take the tank. And I'll let this guy take the preferred position, probably. And we have a lot of 10s still that we're going to have to move through this area. I'm going to move them around so we don't take any other unnecessary reaction fire. Now they're definitely going to start taking reaction fire now. Okay. Move. Move. And... okay, good. Next. Same old, same old. I don't know why I'm trying to avoid this guy. We're obviously going to take reaction fire from him eventually. Okay. I think I'm going to try to slip this guy all the way down here. Okay. Now, you are just going to move like this. We're not moving within 2 of anybody else, so I think we're okay. Just really want to make sure I kill this guy. He does have 4 strength, so I consider him. I think it's a reasonable thing to do to surround him completely. We also want to move this tank down so he doesn't take reaction fire. Okay, now move him here. And I think we want to move him right here. He will take 2 reaction fire from that. Actually, better if we can leave him right here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take possibly a beating here. I moved the wrong one, didn't I? Anyway, he's perfect here. He's going to give 4 guys good coverage. Sounds good to me. And you... actually, you're fine where you are this turn, but we'll have to move you somewhere next turn. Let's get you out of the way. ferry this guy along the bottom. I think I can still move through, yeah. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to get guys all the way over here. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to assume. You have to make some assumptions, right? I'm going to assume that we're going to clear this unit. So I'm not going to worry about attacking him. 3, I'm hoping, is enough. So we're going to go all the way over here. Yeah, I guess I had to eventually draw fire from that guy. So we're going to draw fire from this guy here. Did take a hit. So hopefully we won't draw fire from him again. I'm pretty sure that's the case, but... Draw fire. That's fine, because we're going to draw fire from him. So you can see the tactics involved here. It's just a little bit of a game of thinking about where to move your troops. And now we shouldn't draw fire from him. Good. Now only one time. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay, we're all set. So that's the 5th. And we'll move up with the... So the 4th... so he can leave enemies under control, but... I think... Is that all he can do for his turn? No, yeah. Okay, so you can move out of the enemies under control in turn. You just can't move into and then out of. I know my HQ will have enough range if this guy goes down. So what I'd like to do is something like this, except for, you know, pretty sure that there's going to be some people up there. Let's stick with the easy things first. We need a replacement for... Yeah, we need a replacement for this guy. A new sacrificial lamb, really. Hopefully we kill this guy, since we have 3 units surrounding him. Okay, yeah, we are going to have to move around. We are. We'll just do this. And this is a good reserve unit to make sure we do eliminate this machine gunner. I don't know, I think it is worth it to go around here. We'll find out what's up there. Yeah. So this guy is going to be out of command range next turn. In fact, he's so weak, I'm just going to put him all the way back. Like, okay, well, thanks for playing. But you didn't make the cut. So I think we'll put a unit here then. He's going to be out of command range next turn, though. I don't think we're going to be able to go around. I'm pretty sure that we're not. If we are able to kill this unit, then the HQ may... At least it'll push up. The thing is, a unit that's out of supply, it's kind of useless to have extra units on the beach. Oh, this is kind of nuts, but let's see what happens. There it is. Okay, so yeah, we can't go this way. I think our best bet is just suffer with this unit. So basically these units were going to be useless anyway. And so, I mean, they're just sitting on the beaches. So we might as well try to get some use out of them. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any other use. There's no other effective use. We move here, we just take needless reaction fire and... Oh, okay. No, yeah, we can't move up there. Okay, yeah, you can only move up there, I think, if you've cleared the zone of control. So it's a little bit challenging. We can move this unit up 1. And, by the way, there's no undo, so once I click off, we're done. We kind of already screwed the pooch, so maybe we should just move the 4th over. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with this situation. You're going to have to figure it out. You know what? I'm just going to... Let's just go ahead and roll with what we have. I think the armor is going to be attacked by this guy no matter what if I put him here. Just want to make sure we do eliminate this unit. So we'll just go ahead and take our fire. Take our lumps. Tanks have been very lucky. I've had not this good of luck with tanks many a time. So I think that's all we can do. Like a lot of these units, they're just extras, but I can move them and try to do attacks, but then we're, again, just facing the same situation that our HQ is not going to be in a position to be able to support them. So here comes the artillery. We took the airfield though. Hooray! Yeah, go ahead. You can send it. Send it downrange. Well, that's not good. That's also not good. The artillery does become less effective as soon as you take Mount Suribachi, which is the spotting location for the artillery. Man, it is brutal. Live! Live! Oh, he survived. Probably wouldn't be the worst thing if the animations were sped up a little bit, and also if you had like a little red circle where you're being bombed. Maybe a log. Anyway. Oh no! Oh my god, no. Ah! Oh my god, we lost so many. RNGesus giveth and RNGesus taketh away. Now, I personally am not a huge fan of the games which are very, very heavily die roll dependent. You know, if a unit only has 3 pips, there's no way that they can survive long enough for the law of large numbers to play a role. That's always just been my own personal take, but this is kind of more of a beer and pretzels war game. So, you know, you have to take that into consideration. Beer and pretzels is always going to be more of a die roll game. Oh, we got ambushed. Fight back. Okay, we can't kill this guy, unfortunately. I was really hoping, surrounding him by 4, that we might have a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Very important, the most important, that we kill this guy so we can get units through. Oh, don't worry me like this. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So we're not gonna restart the game for this, but this guy maybe. We need a way through. I mean, the problem is the zone of control. It does. Yeah, we'll kill this guy. It's pretty apparent now. Zone of control blocks our HQ range, so it's very important. Oh, we have a chance. Yes! That's actually really good. Next objective after the mount is airfield number 2. So we do have to break through this first line of entrenchment somewhere. We have to break through somewhere. Well, I mean, hey, we might as well try now. See if we can get this guy's weakened at all. Answer is no. Magic 8 Ball says, not today. Oh no. So that guy's gonna survive another turn as well. Pretty confident we'll be able to kill this guy. Okay, we're gonna kill this guy. That's good news. Okay, well, I think that's actually all the combat we can do. So we obviously have to start pushing on Mount Suribachi, which is what the 5th will do. So we're starting to bifurcate here. I mean, we're starting to move all of our 5th left, west, and the 4th is going to... Well, these guys are just going to have to stay there, unfortunately. We will get some reinforcements after the night phase here. Nobody's bonsai attacked yet. Okay, 6 points. This is, you know, could be better. But I actually don't want to drag this out forever. Okay, well, let's watch this. Japanese kamikaze sinks the USS Bismarck C. This is a light carrier. And animations, although you can move away from this animation and come back, cannot skip it. There it is. Still, I want to say, because I don't think I've acknowledged this yet, that oh yeah, these guys are cut off because of zone of control. Well, that's what happens when this guy doesn't die. That means that I cannot even if I bring them back under, if I move this HQ right next to them, they still are defunct for this turn. Cannot be used. Which means they're actually acting as a nice buffer for this one unit. That's unfortunate. Also unfortunate, I don't know if I can get here without taking reaction fire. Okay, so let's do this, because it's going to take reaction fire. these guys are all out of range. Ooh, boy. We're in real trouble. We done messed up. So this is about the time when you probably will need to just restart the game. Live and learn that you need to move this guy a little bit further forward. I don't know what his exact HQ range is. So, anyways, this is just... You can learn from my mistakes, I hope. Feel like we probably should move this guy over to help support the... I mean, right where that unit is probably where we got to go with the tank, and he's going to take a lot of losses to do that. I'll get this guy and this guy to move forward to these two places. Maybe we'll even move a tank there. Let's just get the tanks. Tanks are important. Or, you know, I think they're important. That kill should happen. I'm going to actually try to defend this guy so he doesn't die. We have one left. Oh boy. No great candidates. I guess this guy. Okay. Alright, here we go. I'll just do the movement phase and then we'll call this one to a close. It's one of those one more turn things where you just can't stop playing. We can actually move in. So let me move in with the 10 first. Ah, see, stupid. This was stupid. I could have moved around. Okay, I can't move around this guy, unfortunately. Oh, I can. Moving on water. I know that there's a unit on Mount Suribachi's, you know, objective proper. It only makes sense that there be a unit there. We'll expose ourselves to a little bit of extra fire and actually pay the penalty for it. But I think that was important just because we do want... Let's go around this time. Try to take as little fire as possible. And slip this guy in here. If we don't kill this unit, which, I mean, it'd be a crying shame if we didn't, these guys will all be cut off next turn. So we'll just be compounding the mistake. Get this guy over here as well. Okay, I mean, heck, we might as well start attacking Mount Suribachi proper. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, we will have to attack it. So we'll probably move all our extra troops into there. And D-Day +4, it's D-Day +2, so it's good to start working on them. They're not going to be an easy force to displace up a hill in a fortification. And, you know, I would say with a high likelihood we will displace them, but we may incur some more casualties. And I don't know if you saw it there, but oh boy, this guy's not in a good way. I don't know if you saw it there, but there's like a limit. I think it's 320 points that the Japanese are able to take. Now, considering it's 33 days, and I'm already up to like 60, if you're averaging about 30 points a day, we would be at about 1,000 enemy points by the end of this. So I've never beaten the game, but it seems like a very tall order to defeat. So I'm just going to stop here and wish you luck in figuring out your strategy if you choose to pick this title up. Yeah, it's not going to be for everyone because it is a walkthrough-ish type thing. I mean, there's not super complicated mechanics. You're not ordering carriers and bringing in airstrikes. You just have support, and it's a simple game to play. I don't think it's too complicated. But if you want to live through Iwo Jima, I think it does a pretty good job. I mean, as soon as you figure out where your HQs have to go, and trust me, not where I put them, but once you figure that out for yourselves, it's kind of walkthrough-ish though, because there's no replayability once you figure out where the Japanese are. So even watching my playthrough, I'm glad I'm stopping here, not just because it's almost 40 minutes, but you can figure it out for yourself without me spoiling the surprise. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks to the developer for providing my press copy as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'm going to point the developers to this video, so hopefully they'll be able to answer any questions you guys have there, or just contact them directly. Until the next video or series, take care.